is March 23rd, 2020. It's a Monday in the evening time. So today I've watched everyone speak again. I saw more coverage from our governor in Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, as well as President Trump and the COVID-19 coronavirus task force. So we had over 10,000 cases added as positives today in the United States, and over 100 people died. And they're saying that number's going to continue to grow. I saw a lot today about New York being kind of like the epicenter for the United States, just because it's so bad, and they think that it hit there earlier than everywhere else. So people seem worried. They also talked a lot about today the 15-day, try to stay at home, be aware deal that Trump laid out for us, and they said there's 7 days left of that. So they're really kind of mentioning that on a daily basis now, that we have 7 days left to show that we're listening and that we're going to follow instruction. And it's starting to become really apparent because I was also listening to the mayor of New York City speak earlier when the press was asking questions about it, and it seemed like they're definitely trying to have people follow the rules and guidelines first, but essentially if they need to start enforcing, they will. So I expect it to be about a week from now, maybe less if that starts happening, just because people aren't listening. So there's that. I'm definitely, just keeping that in the back of my mind, that could be something that could be in the near future. So as far as work goes, I'm starting to get in the groove of things. I'm staying home as much as possible now, limiting my contact with everybody. I never realized how much you talk to people over the phone whenever you can't see them in person. So it's interesting to see how many people I've been Skyping and texting and calling and just hearing from in general. So that's interesting. But that part's been hard. Normally whenever... And this has been hard for me. I don't know about everyone else. I'd assume everyone probably feels it some way. But whenever a disaster strikes, that's when we have all historically band together and been there for each other. And it's so weird because in this instance, we can't really, not in person, face to face, hugs and love and support, physically. Instead, it has to be from a distance, and that's hard and weird also, because you think anytime you're around someone now, what if they have it and they don't know and they're just not showing symptoms yet, because it could take up to 14 days for them to show symptoms, and you just have to just think about it so much more than you ever had to think about before. So that was something else that just really kind of has been bothering me. Something else that I've also been thinking about is unemployment and the economy portion of all of this. Clearly, it's not looking like we're going to have a cure for this for about a year. And until we have a cure, this is going to be our lives until we have a cure, because it is so contagious and so deadly. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out, just because I don't see us being able to live this life for an entire year, especially so with the economy. Just to give it perspective, I looked today, and in Oklahoma, an unemployment rate is around 3.3%, and economically, you do want some employment to bring balance. I remember studying, we like to be in the 3 to 4 percentile. So there's been remarks basically everywhere now, if you're watching the news, that they expect unemployment to rise up to 20 to 30% this week in the United States. That includes Oklahoma. Kevin Stitt was talking about it either yesterday or the day before about how basically the numbers have doubled this week from last week every single day. They've doubled as far as people running in to get unemployment or applying for it online or however you do it. I haven't had to do that yet, knock on wood. But it's going to be huge. And like I said, to bring context to this, the Great Depression hit 24.9% in the 30s, and it took about a decade to get it back under 14%. Once again, we like it to be at 3 to 4%. And Trump keeps saying we're going to bounce back like no one's ever seen. Well, bounce back when it comes to economy means years. Bounce back means years. It doesn't mean, in a couple months we'll be all fine again. Like, all this time that's happening, people are continuing to losing jobs. They're continuing to have to take out loans. So anyway, that's a really big concern of mine right now. It makes me happy that I am where I am financially and that I don't have a lot of debt to worry about. I'm extremely fortunate in that case. So that's just something else on my mind. Other than that, I'm just continuing to watch the news every day. I'm working from home full-time, overtime still. Getting cabin fever pretty bad. I'm glad I have a lot of plants because they bring me happiness. So anyway, another thing, just last thing I'm going to bring up that I really wanted to touch on today is everyone staying active in some way. So just because we're stuck at home, just because the gyms are closed, doesn't mean we need to, just stock up on potato chips and eat unhealthy foods. And is not going to help our situation because, once again, this is a virus, and a part of being healthy and a part of being able to fight viruses and infections is having a healthy immune system, having a healthy functioning body. And it also it releases endorphins. It stretches you out. It makes you feel good, and it's good for you. So there's a ton of stuff on YouTube you can do for home videos. You can run outside, and there's all kinds of options. I have a yoga app that I use called Down Dog, and it's amazing. I love it so much. So anyway, just do it for yourselves. You're healthy right now. You want to stay healthy, and so sorry, that was a thing. So yeah, because my mom reached out about maybe doing exercise home videos, and I was just so happy that she asked about it because I figure a lot of people probably won't do it. But anyway, so that's all I have for tonight, and I will check in tomorrow.